Hello and welcome to Nuevo Investigations, where we explore and analyze the iconic characters of yesteryear, from classic pulp heroes to legendary comic book figures and beyond. We peel back the layers of nostalgia and reveal the magic behind the art. Oh, and if you haven't yet, check out our episode on the Crimson Avenger. The link is in the description. Before we get swept up in the excitement of Zot, let's talk about the big grumpy elephant in the room. For decades, the American comic scene has been struggling. Japanese manga is flying off the shelves, and even once thrilling comic book movies are starting to lose their spark. Lately, scripts seem to favor political posturing over the rich, imaginative storytelling that legends like Jack Kirby pioneered. To add to the drama, Diamond Comic Distributors, once a giant in the field, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The future of comic distribution is as unpredictable as a surprise plot twist. It could open the door for new players, but it might also disrupt the whole supply chain. So hold on to your utility belts, Bat fans. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Now let's rewind to the vibrant 1980s, a golden era when creativity was bursting at the seams. It was then that Scott McCloud introduced us to Zot in 1984. Long before manga became the talk of the town in America, McCloud was already mixing superhero flair with daring adventure and slice-of-life drama. Zot wasn't just a comic. It was a bold statement that paved the way for his later masterpieces like Understanding Comics, Making Comics, and Reinventing Comics. Good stuff. Imagine a world where Zachary T. Paleozod lived in a perpetual 1965, a utopian Earth complete with flying cars, helpful robots, and global harmony. Then there's Jenny Weaver, who's navigating the gritty reality of our 1980s, a world full of challenges and often broken dreams. When these two worlds collide via mysterious portals, everything changes, blending the fantastical with the all too real. Published by Eclipse Comics, Zot quickly captured hearts with its imaginative blend of optimism, tech wizardry, and a touch of everyday reality. McCloud's unique storytelling and art style turned Zot into a beloved indie classic. Scott McCloud openly credits inspirations like Osamu Tezuka, the godfather of manga, behind Astro Boy, and even Disney's quirky Uncle Scrooge comics, which is a nod to the early work of Carl Barks, who also inspired Tezuka. Interesting how that works. These influences mix together to create a rich tapestry of creativity that still resonates today. For me, Zot isn't just another comic. It's like a warm hug from the past when I was rereading it to get ready to make this video. Growing up, I loved McCloud's hopeful tone and his knack for blending fun, heart, and groundbreaking art. Zot's playful optimism was a breath of fresh air amid the darker comic trends of the 1980s. And it's a reminder that storytelling can be both profound and pure joy. Every great hero needs a sympathetic baddie, and in Zot, for me, that was Deco. Once a brilliant artist, Arthur Decker, who later changed his name to Art Deco, was tragically transformed into a crazed cyborg, losing his humanity and his twisted pursuit of perfection creates chaos and conflict. You know, he's not just a typical supervillain. He's a thought-provoking metaphor for the darker side of creativity and obsession, adding layers of complexity and intrigue to the series. Might have also been McCloud's way of digging at people who just make commercial art rather than making art to be creative. That's my opinion. Originally, Zot dazzled us in full color when Eclipse first put out the first 10 issues. And then the series took an interesting turn after a brief cancellation. A revival came in black and white, starting with issue number 11. This bold shift wasn't just about saving production costs, although that was a big part of it. It let McCloud focus on deeper storytelling and character development. And I think the stark contrast of black and white gave each panel a more timeless, sophisticated vibe, which helped Zot to stand out and become a true cult classic. Might have even been a nod to the way a lot of great manga are also black and white. Color is overrated? Maybe. If you're ready to jump into the quirky, imaginative universe of Zot, then you can. I did some digging, and you can still get the complete black and white collection on Amazon, maybe a few other places. This anthology gathers every page from McCloud's ingenious series, starting with issue 11, and the great story arcs that came after. So it's got all the exclusive artwork, some behind-the-scenes stuff from McCloud himself, and it's definitely a good collection for die-hard fans or even newcomers who just want a great story. The original comics are still pretty well available and at a moderate price. So if you want the original full-color 10 issues, if you want the whole run, which I think was 36 or 37 issues in total, it's not unattainable. So if you're somebody who loves to dive into your local comic shop and find some obscure goodies, Zot is a great series to collect. I highly recommend it. You guys know I love to explore the lore. I like to look at what's behind the storytelling, you know, the psychology, the sociology that can be connected. And Zot has that in spades. I think it's a shining example of how comics can mirror society and spark real conversations. It's an exploration of identity, friendship, young love, the impact of technology. All of that, it resonates still today. Zot is a modern myth. It's a blending of classic heroism with the challenges of growing up in a complex world. It's every bit as good as what we're seeing out of some of the more sophisticated manga in Japan these days. But this was from the 80s, so McCloud was definitely ahead of the curve. Scott McCloud's work on Zot has left an indelible mark on the world of comics. Whether you're rediscovering this gem or you're experiencing it for the first time, Zot offers an adventure filled with creativity, depth, and endless inspiration. Thanks for joining me on this Retro Nuevo investigation. I think we did a pretty good job. We can close the case on Zot, but there's plenty of other great characters out there. So if you're dying to learn more about some particular character from yesteryear, drop your suggestions in the comments. And please like, share, subscribe, all that jazz to help us have some more playful journeys into pop culture's past. If you enjoy our adventures, and I hope you do, please consider supporting us on our Ko-fi. Your support helps keep the creativity flowing. See you next time, and as always, welcome to the lair. And thanks for checking out Retro Nuevo. More to come.